you're doing. Brisbane Broncos fans could be staring down a nightmare. Reece Walsh, the electrifying superstar and the man many believe is the key to the Broncos' premiership hopes, has been spotted clutching at his calf during training, and the scenes that followed sent shockwaves through Red Hill. Could this be the cruel twist that derails the Broncos' finals campaign before it even begins? Or is there more to the story than meets the eye? Stay with me, because this could change everything. Welcome back to AUSSIE NRL Updates, the home of hard-hitting rugby league breakdowns, drama, and inside scoops that you won't hear anywhere else. Before we get into this blockbuster update on Reece Walsh and the Broncos finals push, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell so you don't miss a single second of the finals chaos we've got coming. It was supposed to be a standard hit out at training. The Broncos were locked in, preparing for the most important stretch of the season, finals footy. Every set, every drill, every kick was about one thing, sharpening the blade to strike in September. But then it happened. Reece Walsh, the face of Brisbane's revival, the magician with speed no defender can contain, suddenly pulled up in discomfort. Witnesses describe him grimacing, clutching at his calf, and stepping out of the drill. He sat out for around 20 minutes, sparking instant concern among teammates, staff, and even the reporters stationed nearby. And in that moment, you could almost feel the air get sucked out of Red Hill. Because make no mistake, Walsh isn't just another player. He is the spark, the fire, the game breaker who has single-handedly flipped matches on their head all season. Without him firing, the Broncos' title hopes suddenly look a lot less certain. Now here's where things get even more intriguing. After 20 minutes on the sideline, Walsh returned. Not for full contact drills, not for explosive sprints, but to test his calf with some light kicking. Onlookers said he was still cautious, still not 100%. And then, just like that, he disappeared inside. No official statement from the Broncos. No confirmation. No denial. Just silence, and silence in rugby league often means more is happening behind closed doors than anyone wants to admit. But here's the twist, multiple reports suggest the Broncos remain optimistic. That despite the scare, Walsh is expected to be named this afternoon in the side for finals week. Optimistic, but how real is that optimism? Let's break this down. Calf injuries are notorious for being tricky. They're not the kind of injury you can strap up and forget. One wrong step, one explosive burst, and it can ping completely. We've seen it countless times, from superstars across codes. And when that happens, you're not just out for a week. You can be out for a month or more. So the Broncos have a decision to make. Do they gamble on Walsh being fit? Do they risk their X-factor in week 1 of the finals? Or do they hold him back, hoping he'll be fresher for the must-win clashes to come? And let's not forget, this is finals footy. There are no second chances. Every game is pressure cooker stuff. Every selection could be the difference between lifting the trophy or going home empty-handed. But here's the question no one is asking yet. What happens to the Broncos finals campaign if Walsh isn't at 100%? Do they reshuffle? Do they trust their halves to carry the load? Can Selwyn Cobbo step up under the bright lights? Or does the entire blueprint fall apart without the fullback who makes the impossible look routine? And remember this, finals opponents won't hesitate to target Walsh. If he plays, if that calf isn't right, you better believe rival forwards will test him. Kick chase, tackle pressure, high bombs, they'll be sending it all his way. So the Broncos might say they're optimistic. But is that optimism based on genuine belief, or is it a smokescreen to keep opponents guessing? Think back to earlier this season. Walsh has already shown us he can bounce back from adversity. The concussion scare. The suspension drama. Each time, he's returned with fire in his eyes, lifting his game even higher. He thrives when people doubt him. But there's a huge difference between overcoming off-field distractions and managing a physical injury that could limit his trademark acceleration. That split-second burst, the one that leaves defenders clutching at thin air, comes from the calves, the hamstrings, the power in his legs. Take that away, and Walsh becomes human again. And that's what terrifies Broncos fans the most. You're watching Aussie NRL Updates, and this is the story that could decide whether the Broncos fly all the way to a premiership or crash out in heartbreak. And trust me, we've only scratched the surface. The next chapter in this Reece Walsh saga is where things get even more unpredictable. So here's the cliffhanger: Reece Walsh is expected to be named, but expected doesn't always mean guaranteed. Is Kevin Walters about to roll the dice on his superstar? Or are we heading toward a finals week shock nobody saw coming? Stick around, because in part 2, we're going to dive into the possible replacements, the strategic adjustments the Broncos may already be preparing, and the psychological impact this injury scare could have on their finals opponents. If you thought this was dramatic, just wait. The next part could change how you see the entire finals race. In part 1, we left you with the image that has haunted Broncos fans all day: Reece Walsh clutching his calf, sitting out of training, and then vanishing inside without a clear update. Reports say optimism, but questions remain: is he truly fit, or are we about to witness a finals bombshell? Let's play out the nightmare scenario. What if Walsh doesn't make it? Who steps in at fullback? The most likely option is Selwyn Cobbo. He's got the size, the athleticism, and the ball skills to handle the role. But moving Cobbo creates a chain reaction. Who fills his wing spot? Does Jesse Arthurs slot back in? Do the Broncos trust a less experienced option on the edge? And let's be honest, Cobbo is no Reece Walsh. He's a powerhouse, yes, but he doesn't bring that same unpredictable spark. The attack becomes more predictable, the defense easier to structure against. And that could swing the balance in tight finals games. Now consider the other dangerous possibility: Walsh plays, but at less than 100%. This might actually be worse. Because if he's carrying the injury, he risks doing more damage. He risks being targeted. And perhaps most concerning, the Broncos' attack could stall if their main strike weapon isn't firing at full capacity. It's like having a Ferrari with a flat tire: it looks powerful, it sounds intimidating, but it won't perform when you hit the accelerator. So what are Kevin Walters and his coaching staff considering behind closed doors? Let's break down a few possibilities. Shift the focus onto Adam Reynolds and Ezra Mam. Without Walsh at full tilt, the halves need to step up. Reynolds' kicking game becomes even more crucial, while Mam's running threat must be unleashed to keep defenders guessing. Lean on Payne Haas and Pat Carrigan. The forwards have to dominate the middle, creating momentum so the backs don't have to rely on Walsh's brilliance to spark points. Play a grinding style. Instead of the flashy, highlight reel tries, the Broncos may need to win through defense, composure, and discipline. Can they do it? Possibly. But it's not the blueprint they've relied on this year. Now here's where the story gets even juicier. Rival teams are watching this unfold too. They're circling like sharks. Because if there's even a hint Walsh isn't 100%, their entire game plan changes. Suddenly, they'll be bombarding him under the high ball. Testing his positioning. Driving kicks deep into the corners. Even if he holds up, the mental toll of being under siege can't be underestimated. And if he doesn't play? Opponents smell blood in the water. Their confidence grows, knowing the Broncos' most dangerous weapon has been neutralized. This is what makes finals footy so brutal, yet so captivating. One injury, one moment, can flip the entire season on its head. Think back to past finals heartbreaks: Billy Slater's injuries with Melbourne, Cooper Cronk playing with a busted shoulder, Mitchell Pearce's calves going at the wrong time. History is littered with teams whose destiny was decided not by form, but by fitness. And right now, Reece Walsh's calf has the power to shape the 2025 finals narrative. So here's where we stand. Walsh is expected to be named. The Broncos are optimistic. But fans aren't buying blind optimism. They want proof. They want reassurance. And until Walsh runs out for finals week 1, every headline, every whisper, every leaked update will keep the league world on edge. Because if Walsh is fit, truly fit, the Broncos are legitimate premiership contenders. If not, the dream could shatter before it begins. And that's the Reece Walsh saga as it stands. One calf, one superstar, one finals campaign hanging by a thread. Will he play? Will he shine? Or are we about to witness one of the most shocking twists in recent NRL Finals history? You've been watching Aussie NRL Updates, your home for every twist, turn, and shock in the rugby league world. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Walsh plays this week? Or is this all just a smokescreen from the Broncos? Stick around, because as soon as the official team list drops, we'll be back with another update. And trust me, you do not want to miss what happens next.